There are 27 nakshatras, and each nakshatra is represented by some set of symbols. Now, these symbols could be material objects, human body parts, animals, flowers, or any other abstract item or abstract concept. These symbols help us to understand some basic themes of the underlying nakshatra. It also gives an deeper understanding of the qualities, functionality, characteristics, and behavioral traits of the person represented by the nakshatra. You might also see these nakshatra symbols depending on the nakshatra linked to you, of course, in the form of an imagery, paintings, sculpture, clothing prints, phone or laptop wallpapers, etc. etc. Today, we will specifically talk about one of the Jyeshta Nakshatra symbols, which is a talisman. But before that, welcome to Soma Vedic Astrology channel. Please subscribe to the channel to not miss any future updates. There is no denying the fact that luck plays a pivotal role in major successes of any person. While a person can be exceptionally talented and hardworking, at the end of the day, he or she will also need a little bit of good luck and fortune to reach to the top of the levels in their field. Good luck can be in the form of being at the right place at the right time, or meeting the right person or a mentor who can change your life, or getting some great advice which can transform your life, getting angel investors who can fund your business idea, etc. etc. Most of us seek good luck in our life. Even after becoming a huge success, as per one's definition of success, sustaining that success becomes even more difficult. With more success, there comes more eyes on you. People start getting jealous, they start keeping track of what you do, they stalk you, and a crowd of so called well wishers start circling you once you succeed. It becomes very difficult for a successful person to identify or to judge on who actually is their well wisher and who is not. Some people who earlier totally were disappeared from your life might contact you back once again only after seeing that you are progressing well ahead by leaps and bounds. Everyone wants a credit and a share of your success when you become successful. But when you are on that quote unquote journey to be successful and are not there yet, at that time you will be all alone with no support and not no so-called well-wishers. The point I am trying to make here is that success is definitely a magnet, but this magnet attracts both positive and negative people in life. Negative people meaning people who are envious of you, on how on earth you were able to reach such heights and they couldn't. Positive and negative here are basically energies. It is all about attracting positive energies in one's life and discarding the negative energies from one's life. So Jyeshta person here is going to get a lot of negative energy from others in the form of jealousy, rivalry, enemies, competition, betrayals, cheating. So it becomes important for a Jyeshtha person to balance this negative energy with the positive energy, because Jyeshtha kind of likes the darker side of life, and if negative energy overpowers, then they will just go deep and deep in that sinking well, and it becomes difficult for them to come out. Jyeshtha is part of the natural eighth house of the natal chart. Ninth house is a house of luck and fortune, and eighth house is 12 places away from the ninth house. 12 places away shows losses. So, loss of luck, which means encountering situations and people which are not under your control, is what generally happens in the time period of the planet sitting in the Jyeshtha Nakshatra. The symbol of Jyeshtha Nakshatra is Talisman, and that is literally the remedy of Jyeshtha Nakshatra, which is a protective coverage to bring bring you good luck, especially when you're dealing with the eighth house related uncertain matters and events in your life. Now, the negative energies that we were talking about earlier can be noticed in the form of certain events such as sudden unexplainable losses, long term illnesses, losing everything that one had at one point of time, constant conflicts in one's house, black magic, evil eye, unnatural deaths, etc. etc. Talisman or amulet helps to protect or overcome this kind of troubled situation in one's life. Basically, what is done is change in the energy using a object. Talisman is used to attract positive energy, good luck and fortune in one's life. So a Jyeshta person will encounter catastrophic events that too in such a sudden manner that there will be very little time to prepare for that kind of disaster. But since Jyeshtha is protected by the divine, the protection symbolized by talisman, they get solutions as well in the form, one form or another, on how to overcome the tough times. Well, divine protection is all one needs, isn't it? Now, what is really a talisman? Talisman is an object with magical and spiritual powers which brings good luck and fortune to the person who is wearing it and protects the person from the evil eye, negative, or unfortunate events of life. It is usually charged with energy for specific purpose, goal, or in generally for good fortune in one's life. So, talisman is a defense mechanism shielding us from dangerous situations and negative energies. If 10th Lord of Career is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, then working in any kind of defense related field, cyber security becomes beneficial. If 4th Lord of Real Estate and 7th Lord of Business is in Jyeshtha, working in security services of home and real estate is beneficial. Example is making CCTVs, working a job as a watchman. The word talisman here also means initiation into the mystical elements of life. Every religion which is present in this world has some or the other object being representation of a talisman or as a symbol of protection. So Jyeshtha Nakshatra here has a connection with the spiritual, esoteric, mystical elements of life. Certain events or situations which cannot have any logical explanations is generally linked to the Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Now, these talisman that we are talking about can be in various forms. In earlier time, it could be seen in the form of sages, staff, or danda as we call in Hindi, the water pot of the rishi, energized with the water, which literally, if they throw on somebody, has the power to curse the person who is there in front. Even the witches in the movies and the TV series that we see have some kind of magical wand in their hand. Talisman was also installed in various historical architectures, example being a serpent gate. The phrase touch wood also symbolizes protection from evil eye when you are talking something nice or something which you are proud of. Apart from this, talisman or amulets can also be seen in the form of sacred stones and sacred rocks, stone inscriptions, gemstones, evil eye amulet, cross pendant generally worn by Christians, amulet or jewelry in the form of necklaces, bracelets, pendants, rings, four leaf clover, where each leaf represents hope, faith, love, and good luck, respectively. This four leaf clover jewelry became all the rage in recent time, and everyone wanted that luxury piece of jewelry. Apart from this, figurines, symbols such as Om, swastika, black thread worn around the waist or anklet, rabbit foot keychains, horseshoes, pictures of deities, reciting certain mantras like Hanuman Chalisa, dead animal teeth, crescent moon, etc., etc. Now, different type of amulets also serve as a religious identity. You can easily figure out if a person is a Christian with a cross pendant. So, Jyeshta here somewhat represents faith in the supreme, faith in the divine, because more than any other nakshatra, Jyeshta realizes this quite early in their life, that some things are not in their control, and definitely some higher power is orchestrating certain events of his or her life. Some astrological remedies are also based on chanting mantras, wearing the right gemstones. So, most commonly, you will also see certain artists, athletes, occult practitioners, sports professionals wearing some or the other kind of amulets, gemstones, bracelets, etc. Now, home is something which is a sacred space for all of us. In India, homes are protected with various forms of protective amulets. It could be the lemon chilli tied on a thread, a Nazar battu, lightning incense stick at the entrance of the house, drawing symbols at the entrance of the house, such as Om and Swastika. Even when a new car is purchased, the lemon chili thread is tied to the car for as a symbol of protection. So if the fourth lord of vehicles real estate is in Jyeshta, it is good generally to work in Vastu Feng Shui related work, because it is linking to bringing good energy and positivity in a space. If fourth lord or tenth lord is in Jyeshta, career of home decor products related to amulets is also beneficial, such as making ceramics, cups, saucers with some kind of evil eye or talisman, amulet related inscriptions on those objects, evil eye pendant keychain. So, all these kind of products to be sold is kind of good with this placement. Now, what is an evil eye? Evil eye means casting a glance out of jealousy, hate, or envy, because you have something that it could be a beauty, talent, success which other people are jealous of. In India, we call it as Nazar. Babies are more prone to Nazar generally because of the excessive compliments that a child gets, which is why Nazar Utarna or removal of the evil eye is really a thing in India. The use of kajal on baby's face can be seen as a common scenario as well in India to protect the kid from the evil eye. Women also get complimented for their beauty a lot, and you will also observe many Indian women applying kajal for protection from evil eye. There are many idioms used in day to day conversations related to nazar. Example being nazar na lage, nazar ka tika, bure nazar wale tera muंह kala. So, hence, Jyeshta Nakshatra is a nakshatra of all occult and mystical related elements and of evil eye. Jyeshta is most susceptible to getting an evil eye. So, wherever Jyeshta Nakshatra is placed in your chart, those areas or people are more susceptible. Eye is usually seen from the Taurus zodiac sign or the second house in the natal chart. So, evil eye, what does it means? It means affliction to the second house of eye, which is second house is opposite of the eighth house, and Jyeshta is part of the eighth house in the natal chart. So, see how this is so connected to each other. If the 10th lord is in Jyeshta, one can very well work in companies or brands related to kajal, kohl, surma, and eye makeup related products. Now, Teekshana nakshatras are generally more susceptible to black magic, and Jyeshta is one of the Teekshana nakshatra. So, themes which shows negative energies, negative auras, black magic, witchcraft, tantra mantra, ghost, supernatural elements, haunted house, voodoo spells, etc. All these which is kind of darker elements, is part of the Jyeshtha Nakshatra. If the eighth lord is in Jyeshtha, you might be inclined to work and research on any of these one of these mystical fields. If the fifth lord is in Jyeshtha, you might like to see cinema, movie, arts related to paranormal activities, supernatural things, horror as a genre. Jyeshtha also shows outworldly experiences. So, if the fifth lord is in Jyeshtha, you might like to see cinema, movie related to aliens, marvels, mystery thrillers, etc. Jyeshta Nakshatra is kind of obsessed with the darker sides of life. So, if the fifth lord is in Jyeshta, you would like to learn about the mystical sciences related subjects. Jyeshta being part of Scorpio zodiac sign, and Scorpio is known for the mysterious things and mysterious circumstances happening in a person's life. Now, talisman represents the one who possesses occult and mystical knowledge. Lord Indra wore a talisman to ensure success in the battlefield and protection from the Rakshas forces or demons. Lord Indra learnt Ayurveda from the Ashwini Kumaras. Lord Indra also used Soma, which is a magical drink of immortality. He used to take many forms of women to disturb people who were on the way to be Indra. He used to go and disturb their penance. Lord Indra also performed many penance and occult procedures to get what he wants. So he kind of was very well aware of the results one can get from all the mystical elements and mystical procedures, performed to get success in life. Hence, Jyeshtha is very much connected to anything mystical, magical, astrological, Ayurveda, numerology, Reiki, psychology, etc. Now, talisman represents a divine protection. Sometimes Jyeshta people gets oracles. Oracles means a divine message, a future prediction, or a penetrating insight of what can happen in the future, which generally becomes useful in one's life journey. We find a great deal of prophetic messaging being part of Jyeshtha Nakshatra and in those areas of life. So, Jyeshta Nakshatra basically is connected to future predictions. Oracle, if we know, is also a name of a company. In recent times it is a database management company, so anything related to data management can also be seen from Jyeshta. The nakshatra lord of Jyeshta is Mercury, who is the karaka of information and data. In earlier times, there was All India Radio with the name Akashvani, which literally means voice or speech coming from the sky or from the heaven. Again, Mercury, the Vimshotri Lord, is the Karaka of speech. In coastal Karnataka, the themes of oracle is also seen in the form of a patri giving divine wisdom or divine predictions in the Bhut Kola. Mythological example of Kans, uncle of the Lord Shri Krishna, who received oracle or a divine message or a divine prediction of Kans being killed by the eighth son of his sister, also shows the themes of getting oracles. So Jyeshta here is linked to forecasting, future predicting themes, getting divine messages, getting divine knowledge. It could be data forecasting in business, weather forecasting, astrological predictions, tarot, or any field where one analyzes future events and future trends. In the Ramayana, Lord Hanuman fetched an amulet, aka powerful medicinal herb called Vishalyakarani, from a mountain in the Himalayas to save Lakshman's life. The same herb was also used to revive Lord Rama in the Indrajit battle. Lakshman here represents Aslesha Nakshatra, and Lord Ram here represents Punarvasu Nakshatra. So here we can see Aslesha and Punarvasu natives getting protective amulets or getting protective kind of a protection from Jyeshta Nakshatra. Now, let us see some brands with talisman as a logo. So, there are many talisman related jewelry brands available across the world. Talisman brand INC is another company which is kind of a brand management company. There are multiple cooking, baking, and restaurant related brand with the same name. There is also an HR solutions company with this name. So, we already discussed in our previous video on how management of resources is also a theme of Jyeshta Nakshatra. Talisman Energy Company, which is kind of an oil and gas company. Again, we can see the similarities or the themes of 8th house Scorpio Jyeshta, where 8th house here represents the oil, gas, digging deep kind of theme. So all of these, if you see, everything is being so correlated. Then there is a tequila brand with the name of Talisman. So in we know that Indra, the deity of Jyeshtha, is also known or famous to relish the Soma drink, right? Now Talisman is also name of some IT insurance software company. So insurance, again the theme of Scorpio, 8th house, and Jyeshtha Nakshatra. There is a mobile app of bathroom and kitchen fittings manufacturing related themes, which is also has the same similar name. So seepages and plumbing and all that also becomes part of the eighth house significations. Then there is a classical fantasy board game related to this same name as well. So a lottery, sudden money, sudden events, that all these things also becomes part of Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So if your 10th lord is now connected to Jyeshtha, then you might work in any such fields as we just discussed above. There are also some popular talismans or amulets as we call. So first is King Solomon's ring. Second would be the Queen Elizabeth II's the talisman crown studded with diamonds. The next is Kohinoor diamond. I mean, there is no description needed for it. Everybody knows about it. Next would be serpent tongue talisman worn by many kings to protect them against poisoning. And another last example is Firoza stone bracelet worn by Bollywood actor Salman Khan. So these are basically a general way of explaining that even bigger personalities across the ancient times still now use some kind of a amulet as a protective force. I hope you guys like the video. It takes immense effort to put out such videos. Please do subscribe and support the channel. Thank you for watching the video and have a nice day.